Demon Sisters, a Demon Slayer fanfiction series. Chapter 1, Terror. What happened? I slowly opened my eyes. Snow fell directly onto my eyes, instantly blinding me. Blinking, I rubbed my eyes and sat up. I groaned as I felt a sharp pain in my chest. Now I could remember things much more clearly. A monster had attacked Nezuko, myself, and the rest of the family, except for our older brother, Tanjiro. The thing was gone now, just as suddenly as it had arrived. Just then, I heard a gasp of despair and turned my head to look. It was my dear older brother, Tanjiro. "Kazuko, what happened?" he asked. I opened my mouth to answer, only to see why my brother was so concerned. Nezuko lay on the ground beside Rokota, as if to protect him. She appeared to be passed out, but Tanjiro confirmed her to be breathing. She was covered in blood. "Nezuko is the only one who's still warm," Tanjiro said. "If we can get her to town, we'll find some help there. At least there will be a chance of her surviving." I nodded and did my best to hide the pain in my chest. I knew that my brother was going to be very worried about me if he saw the blood. Tanjiro picked up Nezuko, and we headed down the mountain together. I was worried about Nezuko, too. But this was no time to panic. I had to help my brother and get her to safety. "Please, God, don't let my sister die," I prayed desperately. "Please, spare her life." I could not imagine my life without her. Tanjiro and I had already lost the others. We could not afford to let our sister die. I quickly followed my brother as we descended the mountain. The icy air was causing my lungs to freeze, but I couldn't stop now. What if Tanjiro got too tired and passed out from running so fast through the snow? Then who else was going to take care of both him and Nezuko? Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Nezuko's hand twitching slightly. "Nezuko? Thank goodness she's alive," I thought in relief, but my smile faded as a strange sensation began to flow throughout my entire body. I could feel everything inside of me changing rapidly. My muscles were tightening up and getting stronger and stronger. My blood was pulsing and changing so fast, and soon I felt a burning sensation. I tried to force myself to run and keep pace with my brother, but it became too much for me. The scalding hot feeling was debilitating, and I had to stop. Tanjiro immediately noticed and turned around. "Kazuko, what's the matter?" he asked, looking over at me worriedly. "Are you hurt?" But I could not answer. I fell to the ground, screaming in pain. I squeezed my eyes shut, praying that the pain would subside soon. Unexpectedly, I lost consciousness, and the world around me went dark. I have no idea how long it was before I regained consciousness. I could hear the voice of my brother. He seemed to be struggling. Against what? I had no idea. I groaned as I blinked slowly against the cold air and the falling snow. "Brother? What's going on?" I tried to sit up, my body still pulsing in pain. Suddenly, I gasped, and my eyes widened as I realized what I was seeing. Tanjiro was fighting against what looks like my sister Nezuko. Wait a moment. Was I really seeing this? Was any of this really happening? I stared in shock at what was happening in front of me. Why was Nezuko attacking our brother? Only Nezuko looked much different now. She had grown at least 5 times her natural size. Not only that, but her teeth had become fangs. My brother was fighting against her, using his hatchet, which prevented Nezuko's fangs from reaching his neck. And yet something inside of me was telling me to help Nezuko kill our brother. I couldn't explain it, but the sight of my brother struggling against her was just too enticing. I could feel my mouth watering at the thought of devouring him. "Kazuko!" I suddenly heard my mother's voice. "You have to help your brother. Please, don't give in. If you don't, your brother will be killed, and your sister won't wake up." In an instant, I ran forward to Nezuko and Tanjiro. "Nezuko, stop it! You can't eat our brother!" Just then, I sensed someone else nearby, and pushed my brother aside and my sister out of the way. I underestimated how strong I had become, and all 3 of us rolled across the snow and bumped into the stump of a tree. Looking up, I saw that there was a young man standing near us. He had black hair and was wearing a mismatched howdy, with one side being dark red and the other having hexagonal geometric shapes of yellow and dark green. He appeared expressionless and void of any human emotions. For a moment, I wondered if he was the same creature that Nezuko and I had turned into. But then I noticed he had a sword. Was he a warrior of some kind? Carved on the blade of his sword were the words, "Destroyer of Demons." Demons? Wait, so is that what Nezuko and I have turned into? But I didn't have much time to think about it as he began speaking to my brother. "Why are you protecting them?" he asked. I wanted to defend myself and Nezuko and just try to justify what had happened, but I was sure that if I said anything, this man would kill me. I had no idea what demons were, but clearly, this guy was here to kill them, and it was highly likely that his mission was to kill Nezuko and I. "These are my sisters," Tanjiro answered. "They're my younger sisters." The young man seemed unaffected by my brother's brief explanation. He did not break his fixed stare at Nezuko and I. It was clear in his eyes what he meant to do. He narrowed his eyes at us. "You call those things your sisters?" he commented. It seemed that the fact of Nezuko and I being related to Tanjiro was of little importance to this guy. If anything, it seemed to have given him yet another reason to kill us. Poor Tanjiro was looking up at him with a mixture of fear and desperation. Then I sensed that the guy was about to move again, and I dodged him before he could grab me. Looking up, I realized that he had taken Nezuko away and held the sword dangerously close to her head. I wanted so badly to attack him and take Nezuko back, but I knew that if I did that, I would wreck all chances of getting her back. I could feel the anger building up inside me, and I could hear myself growling angrily at him. Was that sound really coming from me? "My job is to slay demons," the young man told us. "Needless to say, I'm going to decapitate your sister." "Wait," Tanjiro interjected. "Nezuko hasn't killed anyone. There was a scent at my house from someone I've never smelled before. That must be who killed everyone. Not Nezuko. I don't know what's making her act like this, but—" "That's easy," the guy answered in a stone-cold tone. "Her wound was exposed to demon blood, and so it turned her into a demon. That's how man-eating demons multiply, and it seems that has also happened to your other sister." As he was speaking, it made me think about what had happened and how in the world I had become a demon. Had the same thing happened to me? Suddenly, I remembered the wound in my chest. Had I been exposed to demon blood as well? I suppose it only made sense, but Tanjiro, on the other hand, refused to believe any of it. Nezuko would never hurt anyone, he insisted, and neither would Kazuko. But the young man still wasn't buying it. "A moment ago, both of them almost ate you," he pointed out. I was enraged. How dare he assume that both of us wanted to devour our brother? Then again, I remembered how my deceased mother had to awaken me so that I could come to my senses and realize what the hell I was doing. Maybe this guy was right. "No," Tanjiro argued. I'm sure they know who I am, and I won't let either of them hurt anyone. I'll find a way to cure them. I'll make both of them human again." "She can't be cured," the guy told him. "A human who has been turned into a demon cannot go back." My stomach dropped at his ominous words. Even in this strong body, I felt that I was running out of oxygen, and I felt weak. Was all of that really true? Could Nezuko and I really be stuck like this forever? I was terrified to even think about it. It was scary enough that thoughts of eating my brother had entered my mind not long ago. "I'll find a way, I swear," Tanjiro insisted stubbornly. "Please, don't kill them. I'll also find the one that killed my family. I'll do all of that, so—" But the young man had run out of patience. He raised the sword once more and stabbed Nezuko in the shoulder. I had to hold myself back from attacking him. Everything in me was screaming to rip out his throat. After all, I had the ability, and I was far stronger than him, so why not? I couldn't take it anymore. I prepared to attack, but Tanjiro gave me a pleading look. "Kazuko, please," he said. "I can't lose you either." I nodded and forced myself to calm down. I had no idea what kind of abilities demons had, but I had to assume that being stabbed wouldn't be enough to kill off Nezuko. The guy continued to stab her until my brother intervened. "Stop!" he cried out fearfully. "Please stop. Please don't kill my sisters. Please." Both of us bowed down before him in a begging manner. I was almost entirely sure that doing so would make no difference to this guy's motive. Still, what other choice did I have? It was either do that or make an attack and risk getting all of us killed. For a long moment, He seemed to take our feelings into consideration, and for a moment I wondered if he would at least try to hear my brother out. "Never leave yourself defenseless in front of an enemy," the young man shouted at my brother. I felt my stomach tightening in anger as it continued to build up inside me. I had to bite my tongue to keep from speaking or moving in ways that I knew I would regret. "Stop bowing down so pitifully," he continued. "If it was the least bit effective, your family would still be alive right now. How can a weakling like you, who bows down when it's time to fight, to kill or be killed, how can such a man cure his sisters, or even find his enemy? If you want something, you must fight for it. The meek have no power and no options, and the strong will crush them in every way. The demons might know how to heal your sister, but know that no demon will respect your whining and begging. And for that matter, I don't respect you either. That's reality. Why did you cover your sisters? Did you think that would protect them? Why didn't you throw your hatchet? Why did you show me your back? That's how I was able to take her. I should have skewered the three of you." Tanjiro looked back at the guy in complete and utter despair. Tears streamed down his cheeks. I, on the other hand, was much too angry to cry. I wanted so badly to teach this guy a lesson. And yet, as much as I hated him in the minute, I knew he was absolutely right. He was right about everything. It was true that no evil being in existence was ever going to respect any of us, and especially in our pathetic state. Just then, he stabbed Nezuko again. "Stop it!" Tanjiro yelled in anger and ran towards the guy. Finally, I thought in satisfaction, someone is going to step in and save Nezuko. Though I knew that I would be much stronger than Tanjiro for sure. I watched as Tanjiro prepared to throw his hatchet at the guy. First, he threw it into the air and then pretended to have a weapon as he ran towards him. The moment he got close, the guy brought his hand down on my brother and knocked him out. I stayed very still. However, Nezuko could not contain her anger and she broke free of the guy's grasp. She ran to Tanjiro and lay him gently by me. She gave me a knowing glance, as if she knew exactly what I was thinking. Then she stood in front of both of us, as if to protect us. She ran at the young man and attacked him, but it seemed even her new demonic abilities weren't enough to get the guy to stay away from us. He was able to knock her out too. A few moments later, he walked towards me. I stayed very still as he approached me. A shiver went down my spine as he came closer to me. I waited to see what he was going to do to me. "To be honest, I didn't want to trust you," the guy said, "but your sister has proven me wrong, and so I have no other choice but to relay this information to you. Now, listen closely." This has been Demon Sisters, a Demon Slayer fanfiction. I am very excited to bring this new series to the channel and make it part of my fanfiction narration series. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I will see you in part 2. Bye.